Kempton, 1775. The Holy Roman Empire is an aging organism, stagnant legal structures, rigid, decaying authority. Law is an instrument, dissent is a systemic error. The machine requires an output, a specific resolution. Subject: Anna Maria Schwegelin, not a witch, a servant. Born 1729, Lachen, Bavaria. Occupation maid, value nominal. Her life was measured by labor, her circumstances, chronic poverty. In 1751, she abandoned her Catholic faith to marry a Protestant coachman. The coachman broke the engagement. The conversion became a source of guilt. She became convinced the abandonment of her faith was a spiritual betrayal. By 1769, a leg injury ended her ability to work. She entered the poorhouse. Inside, she confided her guilt to a fellow resident. The devil had appeared to her. The fellow resident reported the confession to the local pastor. The arrest followed, not by state targeting, by denunciation. The institution did not select Anna Maria Schwegelin. She was delivered to it by her own words, spoken in confidence. The state received her, processed her, assigned her a function. The last witchcraft conviction in the Holy Roman Empire was not manufactured, it was ratified. The institution weaponized what she already believed. This is the forensic anomaly. She condemned herself. The state simply signed. The archive is open. The mechanics are now visible. This is the starting point. A woman, a belief, an institution waiting. We move now to the confession itself. Phase 2. The anatomy of a voluntary self-destruction. Phase 2. The confession. Not extracted. Surrendered. Kempton, 1775. The district court receives the subject. The interrogator is not a church clerk. He is a civil magistrate. The deposition follows the Constitutio Criminalis Carolina of 1532. The charges: apostasy, a pact with the adversary. The origin of the charge is a confidence betrayed in a poorhouse. A fellow resident reported her words to the local pastor. The mechanism engaged. She is not resistant. She arrives already convicted in her own mind. She confesses without torture. The record notes this explicitly. She admits to a pact with the devil. She denies causing harm to any person. The institution accepts the admission. It disregards the denial. The Constitutio Criminalis Carolina requires only the pact. Harm is secondary. The law was designed for a different century. It fits this case precisely. The pact alone is sufficient for a capital sentence under existing statute. On day 3, she stops speaking. The record does not note the silence. The confession is complete. It required no coercion, only a listener. The verdict is a death sentence, signed April 11, 1775. But the machinery of the state has snagged on something external. Inside the church, a single voice of dissent is forming. The Enlightenment is pressing against the borders of ecclesiastical law. The confession is set. The execution is not. The blade is primed. The authorization stalls. Phase 3. The execution machinery is locked. The Prince Abbot holds the verdict. He cannot release it. The execution was intended as a display of jurisdictional authority. It has become a liability in a shifting legal and intellectual climate. She waits in the dark, unaware of the intervention forming above her. The resistance does not come from secular authorities. It comes from within. Anton Kramer, the Prince Abbot's confessor, a Franciscan priest. Kramer intervenes directly. He counsels against the execution. The Prince Abbot faces pressure from his own spiritual advisor. The sovereign is caught between legal mandate and internal dissent. To execute is to proceed. To commute is to concede jurisdiction. Kramer would later become a dedicated representative of Enlightenment thought in Kempton. His intervention in 1775 is the earliest documented expression of that position. By July 1775, the case has been quietly set aside. The execution date passes. No order is issued. No record of commutation exists. The sentence is neither carried out nor formally withdrawn. She remains in the stockhouse, the Prince Abbot's prison for dangerous criminals. The state achieves its objective without resolution. The case is set aside. The empire's final witchcraft conviction ends not with execution, but with administrative silence. The silence was not accidental. It was administered. The record is not destroyed nor accessible. It simply ceases to be pursued. The blade remains suspended. The subject remains confined. Anton Kramer's intervention holds. The Prince Abbot does not act again. Phase 4. The administration of the void. Disappearance is not a passive condition. It is a sustained administrative state. Once the execution was abandoned, the subject became an unresolved variable. She is neither convicted nor pardoned, neither executed nor released. The stockhouse holds her without resolution. The legal record holds nothing. No formal commutation was issued. No record of her status was updated. The case does not appear in administrative rolls after July 1775. The institution did not destroy the record. It simply ceased to maintain it. Cessation of record-keeping is its own forensic instrument. The location and conditions of her confinement remain an archival black hole. No inquiry was filed on her behalf. No petition reached the court. Her life ceased to be a legal timeline and became a controlled administrative state. 6 years passed. The Prince Abbot maintained his silence. Anton Kramer did not intervene again. She persists in the record only as the shape of her own absence. No family petitioned for her release. No peers inquired after her condition. The forensic hallmark of institutional disappearance is not destruction. It is neglect. She is the subject the institution forgot to finish processing. The system did not erase Maria Schwegelin. It simply stopped looking at her. The death record surfaces in an unexpected location. A parish register, not a court document. February 7, 1781. Maria Schwegelin. Natural causes. Aged 52. The institution filed nothing. The church recorded everything. The survival of the record was not the result of institutional preservation. It survived because it was never the target. The court files were lost. The parish entry remained. Final phase, the reclamation of the evidentiary record. The erasure was institutional neglect. The survival was structural accident. The narrative is not the object of analysis. The friction is. She is no longer a variable. She is a recovered data point. The court files were lost. The private records were sealed. The parish entry survived. The name was never the target of the parish. That is why it survived. 2 institutions. One processed her. One simply recorded her death. The gap between those 2 documents is the forensic architecture of this case. The machinery of the state failed to achieve finality. It achieved only suspension. In 1995, historian Wolfgang Petz located the death entry while researching his dissertation. The subject had not been deliberately buried. She had been administratively abandoned. 1729, born. 1775, convicted. 1781, deceased. The sequence is now reconstructed. She was not executed. She was not released. She died in the stockhouse, aged 52. The institution that convicted her left no final record. The church that buried her did. The forensic conclusion is not restoration. It is reconstruction from surviving fragments. The case of Maria Schwegelin is not closed. It is reopened. The confession was voluntary. The conviction was procedural. The abandonment was policy. The institution weaponized what she already believed. Then it forgot her. 4 institutions, 1 subject, 1 surviving record, 1 historian, 200 years of silence. The disappearance was not a mystery. It was an administrative byproduct.